Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day, but them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, them they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises we they are they run to? Move it out. I blame it on the religious leaders. I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers. People will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jollof. Something done the smell of. Very soon now we go perceive them. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. I don't man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collected bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.
Kiwe wesu garani anya nine oria nine nke pụrịta kwasa mmadụ dị ndụ n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-agwọ ọrịa anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị onwe gị bụ sunele nke ndị agha ka igwe mere anyị ebere ka akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka ude nke anyị na-asụ wee bịa n'iru gị ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee guzosi ike ka anyị wee n'ikpete mazụ nye ha sọgotụtara nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'ebighị ebi mara n'ebighị ebi ise mama dịrị gị Chineke.
Why are you still fighting the struggle to have independence for Biafra?
We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets. We are fighting in terms of our agitation. We are fighting in terms of our belief. We're fighting in terms of our consistency to ensure that we are free. Because we're not free. As a free people, we can afford to make life better for our people. Right now, we can't do that because of how Nigeria is structured and because of the very flawed foundations upon which Nigeria is.
You called for a referendum latest this year, November, you said, I think.
Yes.
If that doesn't happen, what's the way forward? Because the way it looks like the government will definitely not agree to that.
Then there'll be no elections in Biafra land. No more elections here. They can put whoever they like in office. They can do whatever they like with their political positions. We will not engage in any political process.
You said it's a peaceful struggle, but
yes.
There are some videos of you appearing in the past, especially abroad, in particular in one conference in the US, where you said you need weapons to defend yourself, you need guns and ammunition. How can we understand that in the context that you're saying it's a peaceful?
I'm sure you've heard about the Fulani headsmen killing people all over the place. Have you heard about it? Of course. Exactly. So how do you intend to defend yourself against Fulani headsmen without guns and bullets? They'll be killing our people, raping our women, destroying crops in the farms, and no one does anything about it. Is that how human beings are supposed to live?
So, and you have the right to arm yourself and defend yourself with arms in that context?
Self-defense is recognized even by all the known laws of the UN. Is that not correct? We have the right. If somebody were to barge into this very interview now wielding a machete or an AK-47, are you suggesting we should let them get away with it?
You were detained for almost 2 years, from 2015 on, and actually there was no trial. No trial ever happened, and despite several court rulings that said you were supposed to be released, you were not released.
Yes.
Do you think you were treated in a fair way by the government? Or rather also by the justice system?
No, not fairly, because Nigeria is not a civilized country. People behave like animals. They are not reasonable enough. They're not disciplined enough. They are not mentally developed enough to run a transparent civil society. For them, they have a feudal mindset where you have the ruling class and, a multitude of poverty-stricken people who never utters any word in rebellion or to even ask questions about their plight. That is one thing we are determined to challenge.
Don't you think you insult a lot of Nigerians with that?
I'm being very kind, to be honest. I could have used far more harsher words to describe them. I'm being very kind.
So generally you don't think very positive of your countrymen then, obviously?
They are not... When you say positive, no, as individuals, perhaps there are a few good people amongst them, but as a collective, this is an absolute mess. And you can see for yourself. Didn't you go through the roads and see how horrible they are? Didn't you see how unkempt everywhere is? How filthy and dirty everywhere is? That is the product of a Nigerian system that is uniquely backwards, even by the very third world standards of Black Africa. That's the fact, and people must face up to it.
Well, I traveled in the north quite extensively, and I went to very remote areas sometimes where you would still find Igbo people living there, peaceful together with communities in the north. Don't you sometimes think that you might endanger their peaceful coexistence with the communities there, that they might get into trouble with that?
So if they're living so peacefully together, or cohabiting so peacefully as you put it, how come you hear about all those uprisings in the north where southern Christians are being slaughtered and nothing gets done about it? Are you telling me that that is normal? People are in the north out of a dire need, necessity more or less, to try and survive. Because here, the entire production process has been emasculated by people and policies that are geared towards ensuring that our people exist in perpetual state of poverty. And that is unacceptable to us. What we're asking the world to recognize is that we want to live in peace, not in pieces. We want to live in peace, just to allow us to be. Allow Biafra to exist. We were existing before the British came. Just allow us to go back to, what we were before. No African came to Europe to create countries. So for somebody to just come in here and say, you, from today your name is Nigeria, is simply laughable.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected wherever you are connecting from. Please kindly like and share the program. Like and share to family and friends. Share to your neighbors. Share to those who are very close to you. Let us carry this our message to the ends of the world. Wherever you are, don't watch alone. Click like. When you like the program, that will also help to inform others to come. When you like the program, it will help to activate other people to join us. So please kindly like the program. As you click like, you equally share the program. Share to your friends, share to your family, share in your social media network. Any platform that you have, you can share there. Very important because we must carry everybody along. We cannot do this alone. We need to stand together for us to win this battle. Stand together. That is how we can win this battle. If we stand separately, we can't win it. So wherever you are, I urge you to join us on this program, share it and like. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, the laws that happened today. So many things has happened today. So many things has happened today, and very, very important and unique things. You remember that our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was in court today. The court of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today was outstanding, and I bet you that many international observers were present in the court. Many international observers were present in the court to observe what was happening. And as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said from day one, they were trying to force Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to enter into defense. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu repeatedly have told them that he has nothing to defend because there is no case against him. The judge or Motosho tried to play games on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, tried to threaten him, tried to play their emotional game against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground and said that Nigerian government has no case against him, has no ground to stand on him. And when they tried and they could not be able to succeed, they adjourned the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to continue. I think by tomorrow, we're going to continue again by tomorrow and next tomorrow, as they put it. So it doesn't matter how they try to force Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how they try to bully him. It is clear that Nigeria is a devilish country. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never find justice in Nigeria. Never, ever. So if you're one of those who is hoping that something somehow is going to happen, the only thing that can make them release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is pressure from the Biafran people, pressure that is coming from the US now. That is why any place you are, just as our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon, have advised us, stay away from saga, stay away from attacking your brother, stay away from attacking your sister. Focus on the Zoological Republic. Focus on the Janjaweed. Focus on getting information and pushing it out there. If you see something, say something. Speak more of the atrocities of Nigeria against the citizens, against the Christians, against the Biafrans, against our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I have talked about peace, reconciliation, and freedom on my channel for a very long time. And at this particular point in time, when our Prime Minister Mazi Simon have come out to make that known to us, we must unite together. We must reunite together. We must put our heads together and do what we have to do. Do not get distracted. Don't get distracted. This is a very critical time that we must have to hold hands together. We must have to hold this period together. It doesn't matter whether you are angry with your brother. You don't like the way your brother is talking. You don't like the way your brother is speaking. You don't like what your brother is saying. Please hold on to that attack. Stop that attack. Don't respond. Even if somebody abuses you, pretend you didn't see them. That is why it is better you stay in a place where it's comfortable for you. If you know that platform where you go and you hear curses, and that curses will make you can't control yourself and you begin to curse yourself. Stay away from them. That is one way to remain sane. If you want to keep your sanity in this media, you have to control where you go, what you're listening to. Those messages you know that you are not comfortable with, why are you going there to listen? Why are you still watching them? Why are you still sharing it? If you are not comfortable with my message, there is no point coming here to disturb your head. If what I'm saying, you find out that what I'm saying is not okay for you, you don't like my mode of preaching, quietly, there are many people preaching Biafra, you go there and listen. You go there and listen. Maybe you don't like the way I present issues, you don't like the way I talk, you don't like the way I talk about issues, you want me to do this, I'm not doing that way.
There are people that are doing that thing you want. Go there quietly, fight for Biafra. Quietly present the case of Biafra. This is not the time to fight ourselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is in the front line, fighting the real enemy. You see, the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have reached to the highest level that whatever they do, it is only one way. Either they leave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or they do otherwise. And whatever they do will amount to Biafra actualization. Nigeria have reached its elastic limit. This is time for us to push out every information you have. If you're living abroad, any lawmaker that is close to you abroad, in your county where you live, any representative of the country you are, if you jam them, speak about Biafra for them. If you can meet them, meet them. If you can call them, call them. Continue to tell people about the atrocities of Nigerian government. This is a great opportunity to end this British company called Nigeria. If we fail to end it at this opportunity, we might not get this opportunity again the next 1,000 years. It will take a very long time to get this opportunity again. You know how long it took? It was only Chukwu Okike Abiama, through his miracle, that Trump was able to come back. It is miracle that brought Trump back. And the issue of Biafra, the issue of Nigeria, is one of the things that Chukwu Okike Abiama looked upon and he brought Trump back. We must make use of this opportunity that we have. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to win his case. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, will equally win his case and he's going to join us. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter the propaganda, the blackmail. Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to join us. Where the problem is that the people who are in the net of the enemy are the ones worried about us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is worried about us. He's worried about our unity. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is worried about our unity. He's not even worried about himself. When he was speaking, he's not even worried about himself. He's worried about you. He's worried about me. He's worried about you. He's worried about me. So why wouldn't you focus on that matter? That thing you know that this one is the one you believe that is right. Focus on it. Stop being a distraction and stop causing nuisance. Stop abusing your brother. Stop abusing your sister. Do what you know you can do to keep Biafra safe. To make sure that when our leaders come back, at least they will still see some people who are standing strong. Every division, every wrong or right, in a very short while, we will define it. We will know who is right and who is wrong. The case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has gotten to the highest level. And the level that it is today, it is either we win it or we lose it. It is either we win it or we lose it, and nothing will stop us. Nothing will stop Biafra from winning this case. Nothing will stop Biafra from winning this case. When you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in court, who do you see? Do you see him or you see Biafra? Each time I see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the court, I see more than 60 million people standing beside him. That is what I see. I don't just see only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Each time I see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what I see is more than 60 million people, 80 million people standing in the court of Nigeria. That is what I see. What about you? What do you see each time you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What do you see? Whenever you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what do you see? And what is your effort to make sure that our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free? What are you doing to make sure that the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is heard? What are you doing to make sure that we are not relegated to the background? What are you doing? This is a question that is for every one of us. Ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing to see that things goes our own way? What are you doing to see that we are not relegated to the background? What are you doing to see that we are not just thrown away? Wherever you are as a Biafran, we are in a time that we cannot afford to miss anything. All the fights we've been fighting for so many years, so many decades, the answer to our prayer has come. Why would anybody now, at this point in time, why will anybody go away at this time? Why will any Biafran go astray at this time, at this particular point in time? Why will anybody go astray? This is the time we have gotten to the end of the road. There is no other place to run to. Nobody to run to. We are in a time where we must win our battle. We must win the battle. There is no other two ways about it. This battle must be won. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter the propaganda. It does not matter the blackmail. No matter what you see, at this time, it is focus on winning the battle. And we must win this battle, no matter what. We must win the battle. We must win the battle. So I am asking you, on your own, what are you doing to see that this battle is won? What effort are you making to see that this battle is won, hands down? What effort are you making? What strategy are you putting in place to see that we win this battle? I want to know, what are you doing? If you have no strategy, if you are not doing anything, it is time for you to begin to take action. It is time for every one of us to begin to take action in our own little way. Anything you know you can do at this moment, please go ahead and do it. Don't wait. Do not wait for the next second. Don't wait for anybody. We have waited for too long. We have cried for too long. We have complained for too long. But at this point in time, this is the end of the road for everybody. This is the end of the road. There is no other place to run to. There is no other place to put our faith. There is no other place to put our hope. It is either we win it now or we lose it forever. It's either we win it now or we lose it forever. So how prepared are you? How are you preparing yourself? I'm asking you, as a Biafran, how are you preparing yourself? How are you preparing yourself on what is happening today? How are you preparing yourself? Non-state. I hope that every Biafran, wherever you are getting ready and making sure that you participate in every single thing, every single plan. Make sure you're not left behind. Non-state actors who engage. Make sure you're not left behind. What we saw in the court today is a man that was determined. You see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fighting earnestly. Even with all their blackmail, oh my God, with all their propaganda, he refused to submit. He refused to allow them. With all the things they are doing against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he has refused to give up. So why would you give up? I am asking you, why would you give up? If the supreme leader of IPOB did not give up, why would you give up? The court of today is something that everybody should be focused, applauded, and never allow anything to remove you from it. No sensible person should allow anything to take you away from the cause of Biafra. Because what we have been looking for a very long time finally has been given to us. The tears we've been crying for so long, finally, That prayer has been answered. So why wouldn't you give your best at this time when you have the opportunity? Why will any Biafra allow himself to be distracted at this particular point in time? Why will any Biafra pay attention to propaganda and blackmails of the enemy? Now that we have gotten what we have been looking for a very long time, opportunity of a lifetime, something we have cried for, something we begged for, something that we have wished happened, and it couldn't happen. Why will anybody at this point in time be part of those who is going to distract what we are doing? My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, I urge you never to give up. Never give up. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how difficult it sounds, never give up. Giving up should not be, it should not even, nobody should think about it. Giving up cannot be considered at all. No Biafra, no legitimate son of Biafra will even consider anything called, say, I give up, I surrender. Why would you surrender? You surrender and you leave the assignment for who? Why would any Biafran surrender? When you surrender, you leave the job for who to do? Look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When you see him in court, what do you see? Even when some of you don't know the gravity of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing. You don't know the gravity of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing. Remember the case Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing? The case Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing, you don't know the gravity. And Nigerian government is trying everything to convict him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even in the face of death, have refused to give up. So why would you that have your freedom, why would you give up? Why would you even consider listening to anybody? Why will any Biafra consider listening to anybody for any reason whatsoever? We are not supposed to listen to anybody. It doesn't matter who the person is. Anybody that brings a contrary idea to distract us, we are not supposed to pay attention. The only thing our leaders need now is our utmost support. Our leaders need our support. They need your support. They need my support. So what we are supposed to be doing is to make sure that we stand our ground. Stand our ground and continue to propagate the gospel of Biafra. Speak when we have to speak. Speak without fear. Speak without fear. Do not look at anybody. Speak your mind. Whenever you have the opportunity to speak, speak your mind. Don't allow anybody to bully you. No matter the way they try to push it, just like we see in the court. A lot of things that are happening in the court was very, very disappointing. You can imagine where we are dealing with lawless country that don't care. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about what you think. They don't care whether you listen or you pay attention or you don't pay attention. They don't care whether what they are doing to you is wrong or right. They don't care about that. Even their own law, they don't care about their own law. All they want is to make sure that they put you out. They don't care about their own law. All they want is make sure that they end up everything against us. As long as they continue to detain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that's what they're after. Even with the pressure from the international community, yet they don't care. Today, observers came, international observers were in the court to observe what is happening. But does Nigeria care? Nigeria don't care. Nigerian government does not care. They don't care how you feel. They don't even care what you think. That is how bad it is. They do not care how you think, what you feel, or what you are doing. Nigerian government do not care. But some of us do not understand these things. Some of us think it's a joke. It is not a joke. You think it's a joke. That is why you are playing around at a very critical time. You are playing because you think it's fun. A very critical time. You are joking because you think it's a joke. It is not. What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing today is a matter of life and death. But some of us do not understand that. And I don't know why a Biafran will not understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing a situation that is a matter of life and death. So before we proceed, I think I would like to play the praise statement of the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know, he has many lawyers that are working for him. So I would like to bring the praise statement of the lawyers so that we can hear from them exactly what transpired in the court today. I want us to hear from the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu exactly what happened in the court today, so that when you are reporting, you will not say, they say, somebody say, somebody say. We want to hear from those who were in the court, the lawyers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, so that we can be able to make some sense out of what happened today in the court. I want us to listen.
No. We remain as consultants to him and as his brothers and braves in council. Well, my observation is that let's keep in mind that 14th October this year made it 10 years that this case has been pending. That the matter has become too complicated for the judiciary to handle underscores our core point that this matter is more political than legal. That this is a matter for the executive branch to settle with a political sleight of hand. It's not a matter to be offered to the limited wiggle room of a court of law of the judiciary. There is a lot of wide bat, a lot of wide space left for politicians or political leaders of this country to resolve political issues that border on agitation. Why this one has become intractable is very, very, very disappointing. There's a thesis that this has become intractable because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. That thesis is becoming more and more valid by the day. So what is playing out in court now is nothing but the best evidence that this matter has gone beyond the province of judiciary and should be taken back, by the executive branch that started it anyway. There is no trial without prosecution. So it's the executive branch, the president, that triggered this through the office of the Attorney General. So the president can direct the Attorney General to take the case back to the table to see whether it should be resolved politically. But to try to resolve this case before the courts is becoming more and more impossible every day. Well, of course, everybody is calling for that. It's not throwing in the towel. What is wrong with calling with reconciliation when the courts of the land actually recognize it as well? Check out Section 17 of Federal High Court Act. It called on judges to seek reconciliation between litigants before them, including in criminal cases. Section 174 of the Constitution empowered the Attorney General of the Federation to discontinue criminal prosecutions. So why should anybody say this matter should be resolved in courts when we have an alternative route of resolving it politically that appears to be easier and that would appear to be pleasing to everybody? The procedure today, okay. I will yield to one of my colleagues to discuss that.
It's good for us to put the record straight. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not saying that he will not enter defense. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, under what law are you charging me? Going by the constitution, there is absolute no charge against him. that tell me the law, that the court should tell me the law upon which he's being tried. Now, my Lord is on so saying that whatever thing that you have to say should be ruled at the final written address, and it should be upon a conviction to know whether you're supposed to be convicted or not. I'm asking that Kanu said no. There are thresholds, there are corridors upon which you need to cross for you to reach that particular issue. And one fundamental issue there is that my Lord said we are talking about the issue of extraordinary rendition, the way you have been brought back from Kenya to Nigeria. And they want somebody to come and give evidence on that. There is nothing before him. And if you watch the motion Mazi Nnamdi Kanu filed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, Federal High Court has given a judgment in respect of that, and also awarded 500 million naira against federal government in his favor. That judgment is in the court file. Court of Appeal, in their judgment, also gave ruling on that and made comment about that. CTC of that judgment is in the court file. Supreme Court, in their judgment, also took judicial notice of that and they condemned that attitude. They are all in court file. There was a motion challenging the decision of the court where these issues are being raised. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made reference of the motion in the court file. And under the Evidence Act, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is saying that under the law, court is obliged, is under obligation to judicial notice of every document in your file. So asking him now to go and enter into a defense and start giving evidence on that is a waste of time. That court is on this one supposed to take so much to raise this issue. Court is expected to raise this issue. Now there is a charge before me. Please, under what law? Address me on this issue before I go into trial. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu filed the motion, and I think that motion, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that motion should be heard, and all this issue I raised should be trashed for me to go into trial. So I'm into defense. So my Lord, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maintain his position on that. So my Lord said that he has joined to tomorrow for him to enter defense. Just like we said, we are no longer into the matter, but we are he's still consulting us. I don't say so. On handling his matter in court, he felt that he's competent to do that. So whatever advice he needs from us as his lawyer, we should also offer the legal advice, just to get the record straight, so that people will not say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu refused to enter defense. No, there is no such issue. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, address me on this issue. Okay, that is
the honorable member here.
My name is Right Honorable Obi Akocha. I represent the great people of Iguana, Omaya North and Omaya South for the constituency of Abia State. I represent Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. From what I saw today in court, there seems to be a systemic effort being put in place to steamroll and railroad Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into putting up a defense and leading to conviction. There are procedural issues that must be heard before the matter can go forward. And I think that is the motion that must be heard, hopefully by tomorrow. Nnamdi Kanu still remains a prisoner of conscience. He's been detained unlawfully. And we are also using this medium to continue on the call on Mr. President to invoke Section 174 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended for the Attorney General to enter a non-prosecution, at least before the determination of the court. We are very optimistic that Mr. President, that we know, is a listening and attentive president, and that he will do the right thing in the shortest possible time. Thank you.
Okay. My colleague here would like to brag. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, as an ordinary citizen, I'm not speaking now as a lawyer, as an ordinary citizen, if I am brought before a court of law, I should know the law that I have contravened. Yes. You cannot ask me to enter a defense for a law that does not exist. And particularly, the law that the Supreme Court itself has declared non-existent. So what will I be defending? We're in a country where our laws are written. This is not England, where you have an unwritten constitution or unwritten law. We have a country where all our laws are in black and white. This is a lawmaker here. They made the law we're talking about. And if you ask him, he will tell you that there is nowhere they missed chapter 45 of the criminal code. They didn't make it. The honorable people make that law. It is not in existence. So by, was that law made by the Attorney General's office? And the Attorney General does not have the powers to make laws. So I am saying, as an ordinary citizen, that the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is completely right and within Section 36 of the Constitution, which borders on his fundamental right to fair hearing, to be charged in a court with a law that is in existence, not with a law that is not existent. Thank you. Thank you very much.
As you can see the way I dressed, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for the purpose of this trial, is representing himself in this matter. So, and on this particular issue, we are not acting as his consultants. I'm not the only one. He has many consultants, both foreign and local, who are also whom he consults on this particular issue, not representing him here. Now, if you recall, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has, to tell you that he's ready for his defense, has listed the witnesses he intends to call in this particular matter. So, in the course of consulting, he discovered that the law upon which he's been charged and tried does not exist. So, ordinarily, the court is expected to show me to raise this issue and ask the parties to address him on this issue, whether the law does exist. So now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has raised the issue and said that I cannot enter defense because in a criminal jurisprudence, we have a procedure. The procedure is that for you to even assume jurisdiction, there must be a law. For the law to even exist, for you to rely on that law, the law must exist in law. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now on his own filed a motion on this particular issue, telling my lord that the law upon which I'm being tried does not exist, in line with Section 36 sub 12 of the Constitution. But my lord on this one, just like what we want to say, my lord on this one said that section is talking about conviction. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, no, you can't be talking about conviction without trial. The trial will lead to conviction. So for you to even talk about conviction, you must first of all address all those issues that will lead to conviction. So that is why we are here. It's not as if that you don't want to enter defense, but it's saying, tell me the law upon which I'm being charged and tried. If you say that you're not taking plea, then how will you tell the judge to discharge and acquit you for no trial? Because you first of all plead guilty. Are you not saying you first of all plead guilty for court to have jurisdiction, for you to even make an application? If you do not plead guilty, there's nothing before the court. So that was the issue. And he started saying that the law, the charges upon which I pleaded guilty, does not exist. This is, we are talking about law. The defense opening their case. You can raise it. The law says that you can raise all this issue at any stage before judgment. You can raise it at any stage, either before prosecution opens his case, upon prosecution closes his case, or at any stage. So that's the same as. So on our own, so we believe that the court, first of all, hear this particular motion. I don't say, but just like the court has every right to take decision one way or the other. Then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have opportunity of going on appeal. It's my pleasure. I know.
You have had it. You have had it. That was what really transpired. You've had it. You can't get more than this. The message is straight and direct. The message is just very straight and direct. And that was exactly what transpired in the court today. Everybody saw it and everybody had it. That is how it all went. You can imagine a lawless country. Nigeria is a very, very lawless country. A very lawless country. It cannot get worse than this. You are trying somebody with a law that does not exist. A simple question. You want to try me to stand trial. What is the law under which you are trying me? The judge could not answer. A simple question. You are a judge. A judge is supposed to have all the laws in his palm. He doesn't have to think even before telling him. Somebody asks you, under which law are you trying me? A simple question. You answer him, then he will defend himself. The judge could not answer that question, and he adjourned the case to tomorrow. I have said it that Nigeria has reached elastic limits. No matter what happened, whether good or bad, it is for our own advantage. And every single one of you that is out there as Biafran people, we must focus. Support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spiritually. Support him in any way you can. And prepare yourself also, because we are going home. The United States of America hammer is not going down. The hammer of the United States is not going down. In fact, it is getting stronger, stronger, and stronger. And if you think it's a joke, think again. If you think it's a joke, think again. What is coming up now is even greater than what you can ever imagine. What is coming is greater than what you can ever imagine. And I want every one of you to pay attention and do not get distracted. Pay attention. The hammer of the United States President Donald Trump on Nigeria is the game changer. It is the game changer. If you don't know that the United States of America is the game changer, you will know in this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I tell you, tomorrow we are going to be live again, and we will follow every single thing that is happening, and we will bring it to your own doorstep. We will follow everything, whatever they decide, whether good or bad, whether they sentence Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whether they found him guilty or not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still stands a chance for appeal, and the United States of America is watching. International observers, we are in the court today to watch. The end of the zoo has come. I want you to listen to this very message. Listen to this, brother.
Oh my God, so I'm very excited, very, very excited that President Trump has finally designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. You see, on Tuesday this week, Tuesday, October 28, 2025, around 11 a.m. Oklahoma time, that's Central Standard Time, United States, I got a call from Jesse Sutherland, the policy advisor to the senior senator from Oklahoma, Senator James Langford. That's one of the signatories to Senator Ted Cruz's bill. The message was just simple and direct. Frank, can you write a reminder to the letter sent to this office to be forwarded to the Department of State? So the Department of State, that is the office of the Secretary of State of the United States, Marco Rubio, was asking for a reminder because they don't want to act so motu. They want to act as a response to a call made by Nigerians. So I wrote that letter immediately and sent to the office of Senator James Langford. That was on Tuesday, October 28, 2025. And today, which is Friday, October 31st, 2025, by 12:29 p.m., Jesse Sunderland, the policy advisor to Senator Langford, called me. And his message was just direct. Hold on, the senator wants to speak with you. And Senator Langford was like, friend, the president has just designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. So I want to thank all those Nigerians who have been advocating for this, starting with my bishop, the bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Makurdi, Bishop Anagbi, and all the Reverend Fathers of Benin origin in the United States here, and very particularly to the guys at Equipping the Persecuted, very great man, Judge Saul, who has been there for Nigerian persecuted Christians, the guys at Truth Nigeria, Barton, who himself was a former staff of the State Department, and Mike Arnold, and of course all the senators and the House of Rep members. Trump has officially designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. which was our call. When Yerota happened on June 13 and 14, I told myself that Yerota would be the catalyst for a lot of things to happen to shake the very foundation of Nigeria in the war against terrorism, especially Fulani terrorism and the genocide against Christians in Nigeria. Yerota served as the catalyst. The killings of 13 and 14. And so I want to say, my kinsmen in their graves, they'll be happy that the world is taking an action over the genocide that has happened. But very importantly, we so much desire this country or particular this concerned designation because it will change a lot of things. First of all, a lot of people are asking the implications. I've said it in several of my videos. There'll be trade embargo in Nigeria, there'll be arms. They're not doing anything with the arms. They are giving arms to soldiers, and soldiers are just shooting in the sky anytime this Fulani come to kill people. Nigeria have been crying for Tucano all this while. They've given Nigeria to Tucano, US, and they've done nothing to stop this. Okay, if you go through Trump's statement very well, he said, I'm hereby designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And that is the list of it. Observe that. He said, and that is the list. The list is the designation. The most important thing is what comes on after this designation. These guys have the list of all those guys who are doing these things. They will freeze their accounts. They will place a travel ban on them. They will freeze their assets all over the world. They will go after them. And when it is becoming too hard, they will intervene directly themselves. The way they release some stuff to Iran. So the way the Air Force base is just right here where the big two Spirit bombers are. It's just right here. And then they will go after their transaction, their financial transaction, because most of those guys, they transact with the American dollars and they transact using Visa card and MasterCard, and so it goes through American financial institutions. They have the names of these people. These people are in the federal government of Nigeria, the sponsors of this Fulani Jihad, the genocide in Nigeria. They are in the state government as governors. They are amongst the traditional institutions, from the top echelon of the Islamic traditional institutions in Nigeria to the Emirates, all the emirs. All these chiefs around in national state are also involved. So the United States, so every patriotic Nigeria, those of us who call for this designation are the most patriotic Nigeria because we want a solution. The solution was at hand and the government could not use it for political correctness. Still protecting the sponsors of these killings. With this designation, it is a notice to the entire world that genocide of Christians is happening in Nigeria. And other countries in the European Union, the United Kingdom, and Canada will also act. So we are very happy with this designation. And right now, after this designation, we are going to continue following this matter to make sure that the other repercussions are put in place. Sanction of these guys, blocking their accounts everywhere, freezing their assets, maiming them, and possibly arresting them in some other countries. So we will not relent. We want to thank everybody involved in this. We want to thank all the priests, the pastors, the religious leaders, the political leaders who are able to be brave enough to come for this. And I'll just tell you that, look, the entirety of this designation did not come so much by President Trump or Ted Cruz just doing it on their own. It came because of our crimes. And the crisis continues until when the sponsors of this terrorism and genocide are all arrested and put in prison. And then our people are made to return back to their ancestral land and claim their homes and live in peace and worship in peace. That is the list of what we're saying. So when President Trump is saying this is the list, the designation is just a list. There are a lot of things coming. The sponsors should brave up. They should brace us. There are a lot of things coming. This is just a list according to President Trump. Some of us know the list. And finally, these people be talking in Nigeria. They thought they are deceiving the United States, but they are deceiving themselves. You find these people saying, no, Nigeria, there's nothing like Christian genocide going on. There's peace, there's this, there's that. Look, the United States is the compendium of every intel happening in Nigeria. Everything happening up to your house. Those guys have the information. For goodness sake, you are using their technology. You are using the phone. You are using the SIM card that has the chips. You are using electronic passports, e-passports, satellite imageries. You think those of you, the sponsors, you think you make secret calls by making encrypted calls through WhatsApp? They own the WhatsApp. They own the messenger. If you want to use even satellite phones, they own it. They own this technology. They know all these things. So you begin to deceive yourself that, oh no, this is not happening. They know all these things. I've sat down with many of them. I've heard them inform me about Nigeria to the extent that I never knew Nigeria existed that way. So once again, we want to thank President Trump very well. We want to thank everybody involved in this. Bishop Anagwe of Macaulay Diocese, equipping the persecuted, Judge Saul, Mike Arnold, Doug Martin, Emmanuel Ogebe, my guy Steve Enaga in Atlanta, the Igbo veterans in the Nigerian, in the American service, they are known as AVIDs, Association of Veterans of Igbo in Diaspora, and many of these other guys. Kudos to all of us, and the fight has just started.
You have heard him say very important message to listen to. That is why I bring it forward. So some of you that don't know what is coming, now you know. Prepare yourself. If you are in the Zoological Republic, prepare yourself for what is coming. You can't escape it. None of them will escape it. No matter how they try to escape, they cannot escape, not this time. They can never escape it. And that is why we are bringing it to the doorstep of everybody to see and hear what is happening in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. The one that got me very, very angry is the interview that was granted to Sheikh Gumi, the chief terrorist in Nigeria, was granted interview by one of the Nigerian stations, VOP. The chief terrorist in Nigeria was granted interview, and he was boldly talking nonsense. The chief terrorist talking nonsense live on the social media, on the conventional media. It is so shameful. And I would like us to look through that also, for you to see how evil Nigeria is. That these terrorists are not even ashamed.
So let me start off with you. Now, this country of particular concern, President Trump, President Trump did say a few things. Like, if Nigeria doesn't address this issue, he's going to come in guns blazing and wipe out these jihadist terrorists, these jihadists that are killing Christians. Now, first, what is your immediate reaction to that? And do you think Christians are being killed, or is this a religious thing? Do you consider this what's going on genocidal?
Okay, it's a pleasure for me to have you on the show. Number one, yes, the language of Trump is very contemptible and disrespecting the integrity as.
This is the face of the chief terrorist of Nigeria. The person talking now is the one that is the leader of the bandit in Nigeria. This is their leader. the leader of the terrorists in Nigeria. This is him. This is a man who is representing the late Muhammad Buhari today. A man whom Saudi Arabia could not allow him to land in their country. Saudi deported him from the airport. They didn't allow him to enter. But in Nigeria, they celebrate him as a hero. He is the one that collects ransom for the terrorists. He is the one that makes case for them and take government to pay them ransom, take government to radicalize them and put them into the military. This terrorist is the one that told the governors in Biafra land to recruit fellow Biafrans to begin to kill themselves. All this advice came from this criminal. I want you to listen to what this criminal is saying on national TV, challenging Trump and talking nonsense.
Sovereignty of Nigeria. He called us. Go ahead, please. Okay, he called us a disgraced country. He also threatened Nigeria with a military action.
You are a disgraced country. Not that it is not from Trump that called you. That is what you are. You are a disgraced country. Nigeria is a disgraced country. Trump doesn't need to come and interpret it for you. But because you people are lower than dog, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, you are lower than the dog. That is why you cannot know that you are in a disgraced country. And now Trump is reminding you what you are.
Well, the reason for the military action is because Nigerians, Christians, are being killed in their numbers. I don't know if you're familiar with the data. It means he's only concerned with the Christian lives. Are you not concerned about the lives? He's only concerned with the Christian lives, and he's not concerned with the Muslim lives. No, Muslims are losing every day to these terrorists. If we x-ray the statement from President Trump, he said he was going to come and kill Muslims. He said he would come and he would wipe out the Islamic jihadists. No, you see, let's be pragmatic. Let's be pragmatic in what we do. He's specifically showing that he's a vanguard of Christianity and Christians here.
You see, these people, they don't want to call it Islamic terrorists, but that is what they are. It is a fact. This is something the Democrat in the United States caused, giving right to terrorists. This is what Nigerian government is doing. They don't call the problem what it is. Fulani jihadist terrorists. That is what they are. In Nigeria, they refuse to call them their name. And that is why today they have emboldened them. Instead, they modify them and give them guy name. They call them bandits. They give them guy name. And this man talking is their leader. His anger is that Donald Trump volunteered to come and remove the people that are killing them. And he's angry about that. When all this while that Democrats have been talking about fighting against people who are attacking Muslims, Rohingya Muslims you were talked about, Palestinians were talked about, you didn't find any problem in it. But now Christianity have entered into his mouth. That's the only thing you find problem. And he said the terrorist. He didn't say Islam. He's not fighting against Islam. He's fighting against the jihadist terrorist that the whole world is interested in. That is what he also is interested in, to stop them. And you're finding it as a problem. Shame on you.
That will automatically turn the Muslims against him, even though he's fighting the terrorists. And one thing also, the terrorists, because they've been attacking Muslims more. Now, if by any chance he killed anyone terrorist in the name of protecting Christians, they immediately turn their guns directly on the Christians. Let me tell you what's happening. Why are they killing Muslims? Let me tell you why they're killing Muslims. Let me tell you why they're killing Muslims. You see, these terrorists, I think if you don't know their psychology and you understand them, then you mess up.
You are a terrorist. You can hear them.
They're killing Muslims in towns because they say they are revenging for what government or military is doing to them. Since they don't have access to the military, and the military is protecting these Muslims, So I will attack those who are protecting. This is the psychology, this is their mentality. Is it okay that people are being killed? Me and you cannot change it. So now if Trump comes says we're going to fight terrorists because they are killing Nigerian lives, it will be a completely different issue. But we're specifying that he's coming to protect Christians. This is really very unfortunate. And it shows that they are killing Muslims because of what the government is doing to them. What moral ground are they actually operating in Nigeria? They are not even Nigerians. Sometimes we have to learn that they are foreigners terrorizing. Whatever they are, you don't give them an opportunity to cause the havoc. Look at what's happening now in Mali. Look at what's happening in Niger and other places. These people are armed from some places we don't know. Even the former Chief of Defense Staff, he said for 15 years they are fighting Boko Haram, and sometimes they find foreign currencies, euros and dollars in their pockets. So somebody is behind trying to destabilize Nigeria. But what I'm telling you essentially is, for Trump to say he's coming to protect Christians, particularly when Muslims are even dying more. This is the offensive word, and this has all, and then we should show this man we are a nation, a sovereign nation, that he should not interfere in our own internal affairs. Yes. But if he's saying he's coming to assist Nigerians, which we have many ways we can assist Nigerians. Can I have just give me a minute, please? Let me put this out. Let me put this out there, and then we'll take the response, and also take responses from the studio, because we have many studio guests here with us. Now, from what we understand, Nigerians have been killed in their numbers. A particular data has it that between October 2023 and September 2024, about 4,788, about that, were killed, and out of that number, 3,100 are Christians that have been killed. So, does it matter what religion is being killed, or the fact that people are being killed, and Nigerians have also asked for support, foreign support? So if the United States will help Nigeria wipe out those that are killing Nigerians in their numbers, shouldn't Nigeria welcome such assistance? Why does it now seem, because you seem to be making it like, because they are coming to assist Christians who cried out, then it's now a war. It's not going to be between Christians and Muslims. Let me take you back to Burundi. What happened in Burundi, where a few individuals who were hunters, who were moving from one state to another, unfortunately, were mistaken to be terrorist bandits because they had a few weapons, and they were killed. We saw what happened. There was an outcry in the north. In fact, Governor Monday had to travel to Abuja.
You see how this man is narrating this story? A few hunters, because they had a few weapons. Are you supposed to have a weapon in Nigeria? Does the law permit you to carry gun up and down in Nigeria? No, law does not permit you. But look at how he's painting them. A few one of them who are hunters, supposedly hunters. And that is why idiots like this man will come on national TV to defend them. Because the press cannot question him and say the word the way it is. The press cannot even go underground since all this and to go and investigate those people they said that they killed, that they call hunters. What did they go to hunt in River State? Did you see the press go and investigate and find out if those people were truly hunters? That investigation was never done. They are still here talking about hunters. That is why people like this will stay calm and speak on behalf of the terrorists.
And then promise to compensate the families of those who were killed. But Christians, Nigerians, have been killed in the numbers displaced. And this amounts to genocide, really, where people are displaced and people are killed in their numbers largely for their faith. So, I Are you not concerned that this might help solve the problem that Nigeria has been dealing with since 2009, the problem of Boko Haram? Shouldn't we be looking for a solution? And if there is one that can be arrived at without Nigeria's sovereignty being affected, why haven't we gone for that solution, Jake? You just be patient and understand. If it's China coming to say that, people will believe it. Because China is not closing into our internal affairs. If it's Russians, people will believe them. But America are not the liars. They say Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction, and there is none. And they have caused confusion in Iraq.
You see the idiot. He say if it is China, it is okay. If it's Russia, they want it, but they don't want the United States of America. You can imagine what is coming out from this dumb head, a terrorist that Saudi refused to enter their country. A terrorist, Saudi refused to enter their country. But in Nigeria, they celebrate him. He's a celebrity. They come to the studio to talk.
Libya and everywhere. So when they say Muslims are killing or there's massacre of Muslims.
The case of Libya is different. The case of Libya is different. It was a regime change. The case of Iraq was about regime change. The case of Nigeria is a different ballgame altogether. It's a very, very different thing. It is not the same one. The example this clown is giving. It is not, and Trump have made it clear what is going to happen. This idiot that Saudi refusing to enter their country is supposed to be in jail. If Nigeria were to be a good country, this man is supposed to be in jail. If not for the fact that Nigeria is a terrorist country run by terrorists, that is why this man will come to studio and talk. If not, he's supposed to be in jail.
So like Christians in Nigeria, from which side? They didn't specify whether it is the government or whether it is the Muslims that are doing it, or even if the Christians are targeted, whatever it is. If Americans can cure and eliminate the terrorists, I will welcome it myself. But I know they cannot.
Okay, when you say they cannot, when you say they cannot,
let me tell you, okay. They have fought 20 years in Afghanistan.
They cannot.
Afghanistan, in Syria now, this same thing. And this terrorist you see, it's not easy to just come and drop bombs here and there and think you finish them.
And by the way, in Syria, it is Russia that is in Syria. Russia is the one doing the job in Syria. For you to come on national TV to boast that the United States cannot eradicate your group, your people, you're a joker. Let them come. When they do what they have to do, they should leave the other people. And permit Biafrans, give Biafrans, recognize Biafrans, split the country and let everybody go. And then we'll defend our land. Simple.
Separated the society, so it's going to cause more damage. More Muslims and more Christians will be killed if America would drop the bomb in Nigeria. I'm telling you this. You can take it for a record. So what we are trying to avoid, we are going to even compound it. Look, myself, I have been trying to see how we can pacify these people.
Pacify.
I've been going to see how we can pacify these people and redirect them, because they are human beings.
They are human beings.
Listen and listen. But if you say you want to
always making a case for
against force, then you compound the problem and make the thing dirty. If Nigerian army.
But ask this man the same question now about people that are fighting for legitimate self-determination. He will tell you to go and bomb them. This was an idiot that came online and told governors in the southeast to go and recruit people in the southeast to fight. This idiot. He was the one that engineered the governors of Biafra land to go and form the Abuja and whatnot to fight against the ESN. But when they come to his own people, he protected. He tell the government, don't fight. Don't touch them.
Which has been very active in many years, hotspots cannot deal with this issue for 18 years, for 15 years with Boko Haram, and now the bandits. And to me, the bandits are even vicious because
you said something about Nigeria and not being able to do something about it for some time now. You have been the person, or rather, news have actually carried it. They're more like...
You didn't hear him. He said the bandits are even more vicious than the terrorists. Now, tell me, why are you calling these people bandit? Go and check up the meaning of bandit. You see how they give these people acceptable name. He is telling you that these bandits are more vicious. At the same time, he is pleading on their behalf that they are more deadly than the Boko Haram, than the one dedicated to, but still yet they decide to choose that name, bandit, to make them acceptable to society.
Mediate or some as an intermediary between them and the government, you know, and that actually has sparked quite reaction among Nigerians. What can you tell us to be, you know, some of the good points or flash points of your, interaction or discussion with them, especially when you have to get to the bush?
Number one,
about giving them amnesty and all that. Yes.
Yes. You see, so, just to entice them to leave their weapons. You see, one thing good about it is, you see, you don't treat a disease without diagnosis. If a doctor can diagnose a disease, even if it's cancer, you know how to manage it.
You cut cancer, you cut it. Cut cancer, you cut it out.
We don't know something is fighting us, coming to take us. We don't know that person. Now, by going to talk with them and sit down with them and to hear their grievances and understand their psychology, so we are able now to contain the problem. Now, Kaduna is relatively safe. I can say from you don't hear any more mass killings now in Kaduna because we understand their psychology and the government is cooperating. We are talking to them and they are keeping their weapons. They are not fighting. They still hold the weapons. They hold the weapons, but it's a small, gradual process.
Imagine, they are not fighting. They didn't take away their weapon. They are holding their weapon. He is bold to say it on national TV. Promoting the bandit. He told us, oh, now they're not killing much people in Kaduna State, but they are still holding their weapon. He said they are holding their weapon. They are pacifying it. They are giving them money, giving them salary. And these people have decimated life in southern Kaduna. Up to today, they are still attacking southern Kaduna. They have wiped away so many villages in southern Kaduna. They have wiped away so many villages in southern Kaduna. And this man is here, happily telling you that they are keeping their weapons. They have their weapons with them. We are talking to them, but we keep their weapon with them. Oh God.
Which slowly will civilize them, will take away their weapons and
just
make them
imagine.
good citizens. So it has to be systemic. But for America to come and start bombing in northern Nigeria, I'm telling you, the question. People have sympathy for the bandits.
You have sympathy for the bandits.
Following this conversation, of course, what Sheikh have just said, from your perspective, first off, what should generally the meaning of this statement from the U.S. government boss? From all that has been said thus far, is it clear right now that Nigeria seems to be negotiating with this bandits and terrorists in clear view of what, of course, the opposition will want to put on?
It is unfortunate that we are going through this route. Seriously. It's unfortunate that America is even pitying us. America is angry with what is going on here. For God's sake, how can a group of people call themselves bandits and they are holding Nigeria to ransom? Where is it done? Can such a thing happen in America? That is why this man Trump is angry with us. This type of thing can never happen anywhere. And look at how we are trying to pamper them. Look at Moses. On a more serious note, they said anybody who go to the bush and fetch
anti-infested firewood.
He's calling for Lisa to come for a party in his house. If you have not allowed people to come into Nigeria, will anybody be talking to us? Are we going to become a number in the CPC? Well, because we allow this thing, and leaders, from the beginning, when we are tolerating the voice. Moses, on what ground will anybody, any leader in Nigeria, not from the north or south, go outside and bring terrorists into Nigeria?
But do you have faith in the approach being carried out so far to assuage their temper?
It's a lie. No. Somebody in this country won't told us that there are good and bad bandits. I'll take my dictionary. I didn't see where they wrote these are good bandits and these are bad bandits. I don't know what that is. Somebody told us that they are their boss, that if anybody should attack them, they will not go for that person. In this country, somebody told us that listen, these things are statement that was made from a man who claimed to be patriotic, a statesman. Is that how to solve the problem? We are pampering these boys, we are making them to become so cold. What audacity do they even have to attack anybody in Nigeria? For what? No, hold on. These other people, especially from the service, who have been taken for themselves, we don't want to government subsidy. No, we don't want the government to pamper them. No, these other people that are tending to struggle to survive in Nigeria. Why was a group of people now tell us that we must answer them? They are this, psychological, this and this. These other Nigerians that are holding peaceful agitation, peaceful nature, peaceful what we call businesses. Are they not Nigerians? So if all of them become bandit, what will happen to us prognosis? Hold on. If all of them become bandits, will Nigeria exist? You can see how we clearly bring problem into ourselves and we are now blaming America. How can anybody be also that?
Wouldn't America's involvement affect the sovereignty of Nigeria?
Sovereignty.
Wouldn't America's involvement?
Do you have sovereignty before?
Terrorism. Terrorism in one state is terrorism all over the world. You remember at the point, America had to place a travel ban on some countries where terrorists are really swear. You know that? Good. That will tell you that
You are in support of America in Nigeria.
100%.
Guns are blazing.
I said 100%. Since the government has refused to listen, I won't be having my
Wouldn't that affect the sovereignty of Nigeria?
You now have a service where terrorists are not telling you what to do, Abi. You now have a service where terrorists are on the dining table with government, telling government what to do. And leaders are supporting it in Rosie. That's the my bias. Why do anybody order such words? These are things you should frown at. Who brought them to Nigeria? We have Nigeria like this in 1999. Moses, please listen to yourself. Who brought them into Nigeria? What are they doing here? Why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in the Republic of Benin? Please, why are they not in South Africa? You can see, we support the genesis of our problem and we are blaming America. Let them come. If that will solve the problem. Since people don't know what to do, let them come and help us. Look at, as I'm talking to you now, almost 20 villages have been taken over in Plateau and Benue. Places we are going to occupy those villages. Are they Christians?
Oh.
The real English of those states are not in IDP camp and they are the farmers in Nigeria. Can you do that? And yet, everybody is not talking.
So do you think if America gets involved and then come to, in quote now, save Christians in Nigeria, do you think it will lead to an unrest between Christian and Muslim? Like the Sheikh has said, let the Muslims turn against Christians.
We are tolerated enough. I mean, we are taking enough.
You see the narrative they are creating, that if America comes into Nigeria to fight against the terrorist jihadists that are killing innocent people, that the Muslims in Nigeria will get angry and attack Christians. Can you imagine the narrative? Trump is coming to save this country from the terrorism. And look at the narrative they are painting. Look at what they are preaching. What else do you need to see to know that Nigeria is not one? The diversity, more especially, is on religion. Allow the people in the core north to be on their own. Then allow the people in the southeastern region to be on their own. Southwest be on their own. The Middle Belt be on their own. Let there be disintegration to your tent, O Israel. Every region should manage themselves. Why is this difficult to understand? Why is it difficult to adhere to? Disintegrate the country and let people be on their own, manage themselves. That is all we ask. Why is it difficult for anybody to understand? Why? Why is it difficult for anybody to understand?
Moses, have you seen any Christian group that have kidnapped any Muslim girl because of her faith? Yes, you kept quiet. Have you talked? Did you say anything? Somebody woke up one day. She returned. I told her that APC. That's what I'm saying here. If it becomes of the actions and statements of leaders that are causing problem, they should not deny it. If the team want to blame us for what they have caused, if they want to blame us for what is, how do you take that? If anybody short, we are talking about Americans, so we want to something up. Once you told us that, except we are doing with the bandits, they are rapists in Nigeria. Nonsense, can you beat that? And because of this statement, that's why Saudi Arabia could not tolerate you. They declared you personal non-grata. Saudi Arabia, they stripped of the Islamic caliphate. They could not tolerate you. But here, you tell us all manner of things, you do all manner of things, and you get what you treat.
All right, before we take contributions from Barrister Adam Zata, let me go back to Sheikh Gumi. Sheikh Gumi, okay, I understand that here's like the conversation. Let's continue now.
All right, for me, I think nobody celebrates failure except Nigerians. And that's why you see people comparing and romancing with the government. The government is behind what you are saying today. And I welcome what is coming from the United States of America. I agree with Donald Trump. When you have failed to put your house in order, you do room for outsiders to wrong. I agree with Donald Trump. Yes, I agree with Donald Trump. It's a passion like 5/10. I don't support military invasion. You have that because I know this country is a very peculiar country. If you invade this country with force, you see that relation is going to set in, tribalism is going to set in. A lot of people have hypernative.
The question I'm asking is, why should that be a problem? Why should there be some religious uprising? Because what America is saying is that they will attack the Islamic terrorists. Do you think they don't have the means to identify who is a terrorist and who is just a Muslim? You think they don't have the means? Why should Nigerians be concerned that if terrorists that are causing insecurity in Nigeria are attacked, it will cause a bigger problem, religious crisis?
It shows that Nigeria is not one, has never been one, and will never be one.
Situation. Okay. Don't we have Christians in the western parts of the country? Do we experience that? No. That's the main reason they need to be diplomatic. By that statement, we are coming to attack terrorists in Nigeria. It's a different ballgame when you mention we are coming to attack the Muslim terrorists, Islamic jihadists.
Which you see these idiots. What terrorists do you have in Nigeria? This is when they continue to paint this name, they don't want to call them who they are. Just like Nigerian government never want to talk about Fulani terrorists. Every foot soldier of the terrorists in Nigeria, they are Fulani. And they will come and tell you, don't call them Fulani, just call them terrorists. Don't call them Fulani, just call them. They accept it. From don't call them, now they say, call them bandits, don't call them terrorists. Call them bandits. When you tell them terrorists, they'll get angry. The same thing is what this man is doing now. The same thing Sheikh Gumi is doing is what this man is doing, wearing coat. He tried to sound good. Oh, I support them 50%, I'm 50-50. You see, he tried to sound, but the same thing Sheikh Gumi is doing is what this man is doing. They should not call them by the name. You paint them and give them a different kind of name. The same way you accepted the terrorists and gave them a kind name, gave them a different name as bandit. And today you see what they're doing. And you see Gumi here confirm that they are more vicious than those terrorists you're talking about. You come again, you're telling, don't call them Islamic terrorists. When you talk when you say it will prove a problem. Continue, we are going, and at the end of the day, may Chukwu Okabema block their ear, let them not hear. May Chukwu Okabema block the ear of Nigerian government. They must not do anything until Trump reacts. Block their ear.
Considering the antecedents of how Americans have gone to other parts of the world, and they have failed. They have gone to Afghanistan, they have failed. They're left with heavy problem in that other part of that was like political problem. And then whether we like it or not, they went there, they failed. They went to Afghanistan, they failed. They went to Libya, they failed. But look at all these antecedents.
Look at the comparison they're making.
Considering the fact that this country is just a growing country, a developing country. I agree with the provisions of the Constitution, particularly Section 10 of the Constitution, that states that no states shall adopt state religion. But you see that some parts of about 10 states in the north, they have not even
states.
And why is it in a secular country?
See that the government will continue to pamper these people. And I also agree with President Donald Trump to an extent. I love what is happening because it's putting more pressure on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because if you look at the build-up towards the election that usher in the late President Muhammadu Buhari and others, you see series of statements from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There's a lot of pressure on the then President, Jonathan. Heaven will fall. Jonathan is running the kindergarten, this government, this and that. The same person is in power now. Interesting to mention this. In 2014, some governors went to the United States of America to complain about genocidal, well, that wasn't the word used then, but complain about Christians being killed in Nigeria in their numbers. In 2014. Why didn't we see that as a problem? Why is it a problem now that Christians are crying out that they're being killed in Nigeria? It wasn't a problem in 2014, just before elections. With figures at that time are even higher than what we've experienced in the first half of this year. Why was some of the same people? They are using it for political reasons. Is it not the same Bola Ahmed that led the team then? He led the team with the social media forum for their selfish interests. And that is the government that demolish Jonathan administration and then usher in the then president that has any desire to end what is going on now. The government have failed. If you ask me to rate this government, I will rate them 0/10 in all aspects. Is it a government that is bent on inflicting hardship on Nigerians? Is that the government? Is it a government that wants to protect people in line with the provisions of the constitution? Is that what you call a government? That is total failure. And then I'm saying that the president should resign. Because if you cannot protect properties and life, what are you there for? Because there must be life first before you can even say what to govern people. So the government has failed woefully. I'm in support of what is happening. I love the pressure from the United States of America to an extent. But let's have.
You see, I think I have to stop this thing here because these people, they only come to their studio to make noise at the same time they are supporting the same A4. I pray that they become stubborn. May Chukwu Okabem harden their heart the more. May they not respond. May Chukwu Okabem harden their heart the more. Let them not respond. Let them not respond at all. Let them not respond. The only solution and the only remedy for Nigeria is Biafra. Everybody to your tent, O Israel. Go your separate ways. The Oduduwa go, the Arewa go their ways, and the Biafrans go their ways. That is the only solution. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter how you feel. This is the absolute truth that everybody must take. It is the truth and nothing but the truth. My fellow Biafrans, tomorrow we are going to be back in the morning. Remember our morning program, 7:30 in the morning, we will be here. For the second day of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we will continue to follow up tomorrow. Share the video, share to family and friends, and inform them. We will see what is going to happen tomorrow because they are forcing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to enter trial, and he said he cannot enter trial. They adjourn the case tomorrow. So we're going to see what is going to be the outcome tomorrow. Every one of us, try to join us tomorrow. Share this program, like and share. As you're watching, like, don't only share, like and share. I thank you for being part of this program. May Chukwu Okabiyama continue to guide and protect every one of you. May Chukwu Okabiyama continue to guide and protect our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I will see you tomorrow morning. May Chukwu Okabiyama bless you all. Stay blessed and good night, everybody.
Nigeria don't enter one chance, I swear, now go with the go so. Yes, men, they kill us every day for them busy, they campaign again. After they failed all the promises they made, oh, then they praise themselves. Why the masses were supposed to give them the praises, we they here they run to. Move it down. I blame it on the religious leaders, I blame it on the traditional rulers. People were so supposed to fight for the people, they don't compromise. Shame on the rebellious brothers, people will cry with us during answers. Today them don't join those oppressors, they eat jollof. Something on the smell. Very soon now we go perceive. We have up where this government they cause my time bomb. It go soon explode. Revolution they come. It is very close at the film. When the power of the people we triumph, the power of the people in power. They no even care, they no even send. Say the people they die of hunger. Hungry dog is an angry dog. One day you go bite the owner. Idle man is the devil workshop. Many youths for Nigeria no good job. And the country the youths got no future. The country is gone, that's on period. Move it on. I blame it on the judiciary leaders. I blame it on the electoral officials. People were supposed to save the nation, but they collect it bribe. Shame on the armed forces. People were supposed to protect the masses. One of them they shoot us anytime they hear our voice.